Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is going to be a deeper dive within your life purpose. Firstly, we're going to try to understand a little bit about your soul archetype and then understand what does universe have for you in this lifetime. We have three piles from the left to right. The first pile is Labradorite. The second pile is Peacock-Ore. The third pile is Moss Agate. Pause if you need a little bit longer. Pick the one which calls your name the most. Now I'm going to begin with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose this beautiful Labradorite, this is going to be your reading. So let's see what we have for you. I'm looking at the picture in the thumbnail and she's sort of wearing a white gown, and I'm noticing the little details right now. Apart from the sort of, I would say, masquerade she has, I feel like she has really beautiful hair. And something about this is almost like her hands feel tired to a certain extent. But she has a really beautiful body silhouette, which almost gives me attention to detail. I feel like she's sort of wearing a corset with, a really flared dress underneath with a lot of, it's got a lot of drapes kind of a thingy, and there are so many white feathers. And for me, white feathers are messengers of ancestors. So I feel like you have a really close connection to your ancestors, your spirit guides, angels, or just whatever you believe in. You have a really divine connection. I can also see a lot of birds outside right now. Um, and the weather is pretty gloomy. Excuse me. I feel like this is a lot about how I see that this woman is sort of I would say I'm getting the word shape shifting, and she's got really tiny braids that I can look at because I'm sort of zooming in. Um, Whereas in the back, I can see that, there are certain pillars falling down. So I'm hearing the word unconventional to traditional, heritage, hierarchy. So there's a lot about a generational pattern breakup. So I think one of the things that really come through as soul purposes in this lifetime is breaking a lot of I'm getting the word karma and curses. So your family bloodline or maybe your ancestral bloodline could have taken interest in dark magic is what I'm feeling, and something about it has made you intrigued to the um, I would say the darker energies, darker forces of life. Whereas your energy is really beautiful. There's nothing that I see, in my personal opinion, I see nothing wrong with somebody having to understand the darker forces. It just really depends upon what you're doing with that power, right? So I see that over here. There's something about these forces not letting you know as to what's your background, because I think there's a power of mediumship within you, where you can sort of, tame spirits. And I don't see it in a way where it's almost like I feel like your ancestors, you have certain ancestors that are from the darker side. And that's one reason why they don't want to let you know the strength that your light, I would say the ancestors from your lighter side, lighter attributes have given to you. is because of the fact that they, sort of are scared of how powerful you can become. And it's because when you are a generational pattern breaker, it is very vital for you to perform and practice your spiritual elasticity and sovereignty, right? So this authenticity, which I don't mean it just in a cliche sense, authenticity goes beyond than just being ourselves, but it also comes in a form where we accept our life purpose and we sort of like give in to what the universe has for us, right? So I feel like a lot over here that I see is about just being a pioneer, right? In the most lethal sense, almost, I would say. Like you are burning a lot of bridges. And something about the sort of the masquerade she has to me looks like crow feathers, excuse me, above it. So I really love the detail over here, and I just cannot stop looking at her hair. It's so beautiful, it's dark, it's luscious. So the depth of I just saw a black butterfly outside my window, which is so rare. I almost thought that it's not what I'm assuming it to be. um but it's amazing, right? Because I see that right in front of me when I'm channeling, and I feel like your energy is somebody who has a very gothic soul. You like the nightlife, and I don't mean that in a way where it's about um you know maybe not, or maybe partying, but I feel like it's a lot about the way that you thrive in the night, in the dark, is somewhere sort of where you feel like it's home to you in a way. So this is that sort of dualistic energy that I pick up in your soul archetype, because it's a lot about how you are somebody who has a lot of skeletons in the closet, but you know how to sort of tame them, right? Something about today's date, 21st September, could be somebody's birthday, it could be a special date, anniversary, just a number 21 or number 3. You could be aged 21, you could be a life path 3. You could be born in March, perhaps. I don't know. Something's really prominent over here. But number triple three could also be really important. I'm hearing from somebody within 3 days you're going to receive some clarity. Three days or 3 weeks. So there's specific things happening to you from the time beginning, as to when you see this reading, from right this moment until 3 weeks, is what I'm hearing for majority of the people over here. And something about if you're especially experiencing the winter season right now and it's maybe snowing outside or something, it's pretty chilly. I feel like you're specifically going through a lot of transformation. I'm also getting I'm getting the year 1956. So this is a lot about either your ancestral birth dates, or this could just be prominent years for you. And I feel like about something about your reincarnations is what I'm hearing is was due to exercise your ability to break patterns. For some reason, I feel unsettled in my energy right now. I feel a little bit like there's a lot of background noise that I'm getting from the outside, and um, I almost feel like your energy is a little stubborn on a soul level, because um, this is honestly the favorite spot that I have to film, and also because it's close to the window, but there's still a disadvantage to it that I sometimes get a lot of background noise, which is um, majorly it's sort of I edit it out, but it sometimes really bothers me when I'm channeling because I really like my peace. So I think that the fact that, what I take from this feeling that I have, because feelings are really important to understand when you're channeling. I feel like um, you have a certain energy of really just being very stoic, pile number one. And I feel like this rigidity that I am sort of discovering or acknowledging, I'd rather say right now, is because of who I am, right? It's like I want to have things my way, but I'm still open to compromise, is what I'm feeling like. So I think that what your energy exudes on a soulful level is a lot about cooperation. You're not somebody who purposely likes to be a lone wolf. You might prefer that, but I don't see you majorly always wanting that. And I think there's something really specific about just wanting your own space and your own time. Even though you want to be collaborative, you're somebody who still perhaps has a little bit of isolation within you, because I think that maybe in your past lives also you have been someone who's not been very monogamous, sort of like sabbatical towards life, like somebody who just wants to solve their purpose. And sometimes I think it can turn into a little bit of shadow attribute, because a few mechanisms of how the society works is definitely interdependence, right? Working together, because we do need each other, right? If we sort of like don't have farmers, we wouldn't have ingredients for the manufacturers, and then we wouldn't have a produce for, the tertiary sector. So then ultimately, if we don't have these three, then we people like you and I as customers, unless and until you are in that business, we don't have anything to purchase and sustain upon, right? So I'm talking about that practicality of interdependence that we have. And I feel like sometimes you tend to induce too much in a solitude. I feel like there's somewhere where there's a need where your ancestors want to bring this out to you, that sometimes you tend to go too much in isolation, because it's also a part of, I would say, a point of, I'd say a point of tension or something that you have to tackle in this lifetime, is this need to be too independent. Okay, and I think that you would understand this, because this sort of a purpose is coming out really prominently, because it's something on a very singular level, right? This is not something that you're doing for the collective, but this is also a sort of singular soul mission, I'd rather say. All right, so we're gonna begin off with your cards. I feel like I want to toss them right in this side right now. I want to go in with your tarot and see what do we have. I feel like your energy is sort of really empowered, because something about it is making me feel really good about myself. And I feel like a part of your soul archetype is also a lot of grooming or something. Like, I feel like it's kind of weird for your soul to be so fixated upon your physical appearance, but internally you have this sort of regality, which is honestly very I would say it's very purposeful of how you show up in the world, right? We're going to take this in upright. So we have the Three of Swords, reverse, upright. So we have the Six of Cups, upright. So we have the High Priestess in reverse. All right, bottom of the deck, I see the Five of Pentacles crowning his strength. I'm gonna take the Strength. So for the shuffled cards, we have the Empty Well in reverse, time to replenish. Lost in space, needing direction. Stranger, curiosity. And we have determination. I was keeping this for later, but I really want to flip out some archetypes for your reading to get a little bit more definition to this. Something feels like word vomit. Like there's a lot of purging, and it's making my stomach a little bit icky right now. So I think that this feeling is a lot about soul purging, because sometimes when we die with a certain heartbreak, we tend to internalize it in our soul, and we keep incarnating with the same sort of frequency, with manifestation of that same frequency, so that we can overcome that specific hurdle, right? So I think isolation and trust is one of the situations that you're meant to tackle. We have the mask. I'm taking this in reverse because I feel guided to. I have mentioned this in the disclaimer that any readings, any cards, excuse me, that I turn upright or reverse are so that I can pick up on the underlying energies. That's just how I read. Anima Monty. So this card, and we have the Wow. We're gonna take this in reverse as well. And lastly, this is gonna be an upright unseen. All right. This is pretty interesting. We have the creator at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like something about this reading that I have over here is compulsive. It feels compulsive to me to an extent. We have the card of stranger, which I remember was in one of the other readings that I did with pile number one, possibly. Yeah, it was a lot about shape shifting. I kind of really like how my readings still go in a sequel. So I think that the connection is really strong from your past lives. And what I'm picking up over here with your purpose, and we're diving a little bit more deeper with your purpose as to what you have to do in this life, right? The way I see this reading formulating in front of me is not in the way as to what you're going to be doing on a global level, right? I see this more about what you're supposed to do, because there's a lot of things that we as people on earth deal with that a lot of people outside cannot see, right? We all have things that we go through behind closed doors. And I see that over here, that what your purpose is on a very practical level. I feel like you are somewhere expecting me to sort of tell you as to what's your purpose on a global level, how you're going to show up in front of people. But that is the reason why I feel this sort of need within me to explain you that your purpose goes beyond than what you're showing other people. Your purpose exists within you and the divine. How much you're serving the divine, how much you're fulfilling your karma, right? So I just really felt the need to clear the air about that. Whereas I feel like with the unseen card, you definitely have something that goes beyond the veil, right? Something that I spoke about in the beginning with the picture in the thumbnail is like, you operate with your third eye even if you don't realize. Everything in your life has led you up to this moment to honestly understand through this, perhaps through this reading, that you do have the hand of the higher power on your head. And for something for you to really realize is that you are somebody who withholds a lot of power, whether you can see that or not, because lost in space, needing direction, something I really feel is very positive over here, and it's got a lot of strength within it. This is number 36, which reduces to 9. And I feel like with the High Priestess in reverse, Piscean energy, it's a lot about, with the Pisces being in reverse, it's a lot about you have taken birth in really difficult circumstances, simply for the purpose to figure out yourself. And you are somebody on a soul level who likes this sort of maze in life. It's like a scavenger hunt. At every given point in your life, the divine gives you or serves you with, clues as to how to move forward. And the main reason why you are so prone to isolation is because you're an adventurous person, pile number one. And that is one of the things that I see over here, that really comes in hand with your soul archetype. Like, you don't like to stick around in one place or with one person. You have this sort of energetic field, which is like, it's like I'm getting the image of a trampoline. You go from highs and lows, and the thing that happens, I almost see that sort of, um the waves of heartbeat, like they go up and down, and that's how we see that life works. And when it goes straight, it's flat, we know that there's no life. So something to always keep walking upon, right? But I think that this is born from within, whereas you need to understand that you are a creature. It's almost like you are a sucker for adventure. And I think that this also comes up and shows up in the way that you really don't find yourself sticking to one person. And what you're tackling is this energy of too much of independence, because this is somewhere where it's coming from your soul level as well. Maybe because you've been through a lot of heartache in your past lives. Um, and you definitely have a soulmate with the Six of Cups, and I don't get an energy of just one soulmate. It could have been multiple soulmates that existed. But I feel like a part of this definitely comes down to you understanding your worth so you can attract your ultimate divine counterpart, because there's an underlying energy of meeting soulmates that have just got you up till this moment in your lifetime to build you up to this divine potential so that you can actually find the person that is meant for you. Because oftentimes when we are taking birth in difficult circumstances, we start off with a really bruised heart already, right? And we have to learn how to heal ourselves at every step of the way. It's like fall 7 times, get up 8th time, right? This energy of going through a lot of, I would say, pain, because that is inbuilt in your soul. You like to exercise this elasticity, which is honestly really commendable. Because on a soulful level, I think you really need to remember who you are. With the mask in reverse, I really like the fact that spirit, turned it upside down, because I feel like I'm not going with the traditional meaning in the book right now. So I feel like this card really talks to me about taking the mask off right now, and I'm just talking to you on a one-on-one level. If this reading is resonating with you so far, I feel like this is a lot about you tapping into your own inner wells and understanding that you don't have to get through life by yourself, right? And all these soulmates that have worked to heal and open your heart chakra, expand it, is so that you can meet your ultimate divine counterpart. Which I feel like one of the things that it keeps coming at the back of my head with the build up of what I'm trying to explain you, is almost like spirit tells me that a lot of your family members or your parents or your lineage has not reached their own divine potential so that they can meet their divine counterpart. So what the universe is also wanting for you to do is heal karma, so that you can be with the person that you're meant to be with. That wouldn't seem boring to you, or you wouldn't feel like this person is not adventurous enough, because I almost do believe in the fact that there is somebody for everyone. And I feel like you've probably met this person, or this person will help you find your way out of a very difficult situation or phase in your life when you would be looking for answers. Because this feels to me like a really high level soulmate who's going to be a proper mirror of you. This person is going to teach you a lot. And with the wow in reverse, I almost feel like I feel like you have been through a lot of heartache because people have not kept their word, right? And some part of it is also going to be inherited by you, right? We always, as we grow and evolve with certain people and maybe partners, we exchange traits. I think that you might start inflicting this energy onto this person where you might not be willing to commit, or you might just be like, I don't know what to do, but this person will show you with the determination that people in this world still keep their word, and they're not boring people, and they're not unconventional. So this person might be, your soulmate might be non-monogamous themselves, and you both will have to go through quite a few things together to actually take off your mask, because I feel like to some level, and this would resonate with only a few people who've probably met this person, I'm getting a really specific message that this person has also lived a life of a lot of pain and heartache, right? And this person will also face difficulty in believing in the ability of love and commitment, because this person would meet you at a point where they're really deprived of their inner well and self-love. So I think that the way that you both will get through this phase is by just believing in your intuition and what it tells you, right? With the strength, the Leo energy that I feel over here, I'm picking up on heavy Libra and Aquarius as well, Pisces, and with the Six of Cups, I'm getting a lot of Cancer energy. So I feel like you both will go through drastic change, but when it comes to your purpose, pile number one, it's a lot about healing these emotional patterns, irrespective of whatever your job, whatever you choose to take. Okay, I do not pick up that, but on a on your own, developing your own higher consciousness will come through developing this emotional enlightenment within you. That is, honestly, it brings me back to this wow card, which I do remember. In reverse, it talks about false promises. So this person is going to teach you about how to keep your word, especially when it comes to emotional relationships. And it doesn't have to always be romantic, but this could just be how to honestly keep your own word and move ahead in life with integrity when it comes to love, because I think that you have not seen the purity of love yet. Pile number one, you're yet to completely grasp what true love means, and for that to experience that, you have to let down that barrier which prevents you from getting sort of absorbed in it, right? I'm still confused. What was this card? Anima Mundi, I really don't remember. I am gonna go through this. Trending to sacred details of life. I did mention this is sort of like, attention to detail, but this in the beginning says accept all, reject none. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal, imaginal, rational, and the mythic. It's like life's meaning almost with the unseen. It really binds with the empty well. I feel like this is a lot about you setting intentions for yourself and actually being able to achieve those things in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you faced a lot of difficulty in keeping your head on and keeping your word to yourself, honestly. And one thing I would definitely like to leave you with, since we're almost going to conclude and wrap up this reading, I feel like you need to understand, pile number one, that the reason why you probably don't keep your word with others is because you don't keep it with yourself. There's a lack of respect for self, right? You probably, you know it's almost like, when you go to a gym and you are using the facilities or using the service of a gym trainer, right? You're going to listen to that person because that person is using your energy, right? That person is using your monetary energy, and that person is giving you their energy as well. So you have an energy exchange that automatically makes you feel like, I have to listen to this person because I'm paying them, right? And you have respect for whatever that person says. If you know that person has told you not to eat over indulge into your calories, or have a cheat day or whatever, I feel like you would listen to that person. But when you decide that for yourself, you don't listen to yourself because you just feel like your energy is not, I don't know, you think that it's not very important or whatever it is, right? It's a lack of self-respect. So you need to keep your word to yourself so that you can keep it to other people, right? Whatever you decide, make sure that you complete it, so that it builds more self-confidence, right? It will build more trust within self, that I know where I'm guiding myself, right? Because the only reason you listen to a trainer is because you know that that's a professional and they'll get you where you have to be. So trust in your intuition and listen to what it's saying, and stop defying your intuition, right? Before we conclude pile number one, I'm going to get you an advice card over here. We have your commitment is being tested, and a personal issue reaches resolution. I'm going to take this in reverse. A new start is coming. Very interesting. Bottom of the deck, I'm already seeing balance, spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces would bring love into this situation. I did pick up on Pisces and Aquarius both previously, so definitely I feel like this reading is going to resonate with a lot of people who have chosen pile number one. um I see that your commitment is being tested with the first quarter moon. It's almost like a certain level of milestone you're hitting in your life, with especially your soul purpose. And what the universe is testing is how well do you keep your word to yourself. That's exactly what I explained, right? And this is all, like, I'm giving you examples to make it easier for you to comprehend the sort of information that I'm giving out. But the message is still coming from spirit, right? They're reminding me of examples. So you need to understand that spirit keeps giving you, I would say, examples. Or I'm getting that you're very claircognizant or clairvoyant. I would say clairvoyant because you get visions either in your dream state, or you're just getting visions of things. And especially about your divine counterpart is what I feel. You're probably really connected with this person, even if you haven't met this person. But you can pick up on the moods of this person, how this person feels, what's up with them. The insight helps you understand the bond better, because you need this. Because I think that you overthink and assume things and take them personal. With a personal issue reaches a resolution with Cancer, you are internally somebody who is a lover, and I think that for a very long time you have defied this nature of yours. And I feel like this could be coming from a past life. With the new start coming in reverse, I feel like this is a lot about what I spoke, right? Unless and until you accept that what your divine calling is to raise your vibration, is to heal from your past and leave your I would say rather attachment to a version of self that you've convinced in your head, you will not ascend and have a, I would say rather, a better lifestyle. Because with the upgradation of your divine potential and your vibration also come in gifts, which are inclusive of abundance, happiness, monetary success, just an overall upgradation of life. And you can't actually have that without maximizing your vibration, I'd rather say, right? So, pile number one, this was your reading. I'm gonna conclude it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more with the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose this beautiful Peacock-Ore, so let's begin with your reading. I am looking at the picture in the thumbnail and I see that this is a really beautiful picture. This woman has a really chiseled face, very sharp features, and there's a sort of light imitating out of her eyeballs. I love this image because it represents all the moon cycles, right? And with the cat in the middle, you're very intuitive. You definitely have a really close connection to the moon. And I feel like apart from the basic that I pick up over here, I feel like there's an energy of suspense or mystery to you because of the moon that I pick up, okay? And there's a lot of hidden secrets that your soul exudes, okay? It's a lot about, I'm getting that you have a certain pet peeves about the nature or the environment. I don't know who I'm getting this message for. For this reading, I'm picking up a lot of ambiguity, and I feel like need to just take the messages that resonate well with you, because by the end of the reading you will have developed something that's personalized for you, considering this is a general reading. All right, so something about the hair is pretty hidden to me, because for hair for me is a lot about ancient wisdom. And again, there's a lot of untapped potential that your soul wants to let you know that's yet to be um it's like you are yet to discover a lot about yourself, is what I'm almost feeling through this image. Considering that this image is just about the face, I feel like I'm getting a retina face recognition, and almost that sort of okay, this is really interesting. You know how when we use our cell phone to open our passwords or the lock on it, through retina retention or like just recognition like that, um, I feel like there's something about reading people, or just your own ability to survive by understanding body language. You might be someone who's been through quite a lot, and now that I'm zooming in, I can see this Venus sign in between, which is really interesting, because I feel like Venus for me is it rules the planet of Libra or Taurus, excuse me. I'm facing difficulty in articulating this reading. So there's something about not being able to speak your truth and just be yourself. And I think that you might have a witch wound inside, which doesn't allow you to be as spiritual as you want to be, because there's certain things that your soul wants to express itself through or practice with. It's sort of like tabooed in this century, or it has been by the mankind, because the unseen really scare people who work through logical sense, right? They don't really believe or use their spirituality as much as people like you and I might like to, right? Because we find resonance with it, right? We're wanting to align with ourselves. So something that your soul is coming through and letting me know is that it really wants you to spend more time understanding it, because it's not in a sort of derogatory manner where you're not doing it, but it's almost like it's saying that I still want to be discovered by you. I still want the brain to comprehend my power within, because there's a lot that I'm yet to sort of reveal to you of what all I have experienced in my past lives. So I feel like this is a beautiful image, pile number 2. I really, really love it. I can't stop looking at it. And I feel like you're also someone who's very beautiful. You might have a really textured skin is what I'm picking up. Something about the skin is really prominent. Almost like with the blue hues that we have in all the pictures, especially specifically this pile has a lot of earthy blue. Like I'm picking up like a sky bluish color that's coming through underneath, with these sort of I'm getting oak trees somewhere oak trees. So you really might like to live in the hills or something. I feel like the channeling is really vague, because it's trying to give you something to hold upon to understand that this reading is for you, because it's coming to a specific denotion. So let's see how this unfolds, right? I'm gonna open your tarot cards. I think we're gonna get your spread out. So one thing I did notice from pile number 1 is that I felt like I just had to remove all the cards that I used in pile number 1, so there's no overlapping. So I feel like I'm hearing a new era, new definition of myself. I'm hearing songs from Billie Eilish, so I don't know if somebody's a fan. I mean, I am. She's got really nice music that really speaks to, the soul in some form, and it's her voice. So something about your voice, definitely it's about self-expression is what I feel. Pile number 2, I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have the Knight in reverse. I usually resonate with this as the moon in this deck. I'm gonna take this upright. We have the devil, Capricorn energy. Should we take more, Spirit? I feel like we're not gonna take more. We're just gonna take the bottom of the deck, which is the Hangman in reverse, Piscean energy. And I'm gonna take the crowning energy, which is the Eight of Wands. I see the King of Swords over here. So we have finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. Wailing tree. Okay, reconciliations. Lay of the land, reverse ancestral wisdom. And we have heart, home, compassion. Very interesting. Alright, I'm just gonna begin off with the channeling. I'm gonna take out archetypes in a bit. So I feel like with this that we have in front of us, I did not pick up on a blocked heart chakra, but I feel like this comes from a place of that witch wound that I was speaking, right? It's because you have, and I feel like getting this out, clearing the air, that the kind of reading that I'm doing today is not very fixated upon what you're doing on a global level, but more rather what you're doing for yourself as a purpose, right? We all go through things that we deal behind closed doors, right? And we are fulfilling our karma by doing whatever we know we need to do between us and just the divine, right? We're fighting battles every day, right? Silent battles that nobody knows. So this is what I'm feeling for your soul on a collective level through this general reading. What I'm picking up is that pile number 2, your one of your major purposes is to just be yourself. And I know that can sound so simplified, but you know how difficult it is, because if you chose this pile, there's something about you which is caught inside. It's not able to just be itself and be as weird and as insane the world might think you are, but there's an energy of just feeling a little inferior in self because you're afraid of judgment. And with the amount of reds and the warm colors that I have over here, it's a lot about burning, bridges with your past self, almost what I feel like. There's an energy of just becoming yourself with the Peacock-Ore. This is such a beautiful, you know, raw stone that I have over here, and can't help but notice that it has sort of this pavement underneath, like it's got a base or a foundation above from which it's sort of getting born through. And I feel like this really represents how you're turning your negativity, like your pain into power, and the beauty of you lies in your heart, and something about your heart is not accessible to you as of now, is what I feel. We have 27, which reduces to 9, and we have 34, which reduces to 7. So I see 59 reduces to 14 and 5 furthermore. So I feel like with the 5s and the 7s that I pick up over here, it's a lot about divine interventions that take place in your life. With the finding the path, I feel like reading about this a little bit. Doing as others told me, I was blind. Coming when others called me, I was lost. Then I left everyone, including myself. Then I found everyone, including myself. Rumi. This is beautiful. You can rise above your doubts and uncertainty by learning how to trust your heart. It is wise not to become too attached to the outcome. Make a choice by standing by it. Take a risk. Taking a risk is a part of life and the part of human condition. Dear one, your deeper instincts are often the right ones. you can rise above your doubts and uncertainty by learning to trust your own heart. So I feel like this is a lot about what I just spoke, right? It's a lot about rekindling with yourself, because there's a lot of fragmentation that I pick up, and somewhere around the lines, I feel like pile number one, you don't like hearing this. You don't like the fact that I'm saying this, that you're not very rekindled or acquainted with your own authentic self, because there's a self-fulfilling prophecy that I know myself, but I really hate to break it to you, and I don't want to make you feel like you're not putting in the hard work, because I feel like you are, It is difficult to find yourself underneath heaps and heaps and layers of conditioning. I feel like with the devil, there's an energy of codependency to a version of yourself, which is very minimized. I have to be very real, okay? So please bear with me, because I feel like a version of you is really minimized inside layers and layers of conditioning of society, which is sort of, I feel like your parents were pretty strict. Maybe they weren't unconventional, and I almost understand this feeling that you feel like it would be too different to be who I really want to be, or who I think I want to be, because you would look different, you would talk different, you would lead life different, and you don't want to be abandoned by people in your life. Something about this reading is sort of really hurting my throat chakra. The energy, the pressure on my throat chakra is real, okay? Because I feel like as much as I really want to speak out loud, it's like they're right at the tip of my tongue, but I am facing difficulty. So it's almost like something keeps holding me back because of the pressure that I'm feeling on my throat. And I feel like this is because maybe you are somebody who has a Queen of Swords energy. I feel like sometimes you just feel like the way to announce the way I want to live my life is by yelling or fighting for myself. But because of this, you are losing your sort of masculine energy, right? With reconciliation, wailing tree, if you look at this picture, it's almost like this tree has a face which is crying inside, and there's a lot of burning sensation coming through, right? And I feel like this is a metaphor for purification, an alchemical process where turn lead into gold, right? So this personality that you have right now, which is sort of like constructed around how it's presentable in front of the society, is not you, pile number two. And one of the purposes, or your, I would say, the things that you're really meant to discover on a soulful level for yourself, and again, which I feel like subsequently will inspire people globally or people around you, is by the way that you emerge through all the pains and trials and tribulation that you have been through, right? So I feel like this energy of you just coming out from how much you have been through, and I really 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 feel for you, is almost like you have to have faith within what your intuition tells you, right? I feel like your intuition is really spot on, and sometimes you have this energy of ignoring it because it's scary, right? And I completely understand that it's scary because you don't know how it will turn out, and you can't always reverse the actions that you've taken, right? And as much as you understand that every action has an equal reaction, I feel like you still defy your own nature because of the fear of rejection that you withhold within. So I feel like this rejection comes from a place where, as a child, your parents didn't allow you to be who you wanted to be, because that subsequently just meant that I won't be loved for who I am, right? And you have to leave this sort of identity that you've built around rejection for facing rejection for being yourself. And this is that sort of thing that I see trembling from your past lives, because I feel like it's a build up. How when you throw a sort of snowball into dry ice, it's sort of rolling up and it starts becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like small things that your parents didn't allow you to do in your childhood have become such bigger feelings of rejection that now it's so difficult for you to just be yourself, right? So I think that we're going to take a few archetypes to bind your reading a little bit more. I feel like the changes that you're going through, as cliche as it might sound, are literally happening for your benefit, so that you can free yourself from this sort of persona that doesn't even serve you. The river. I'm gonna take the river upright. And we have the shadow. I'm going to take this in reverse. I have mentioned this in my description box that I take cards as I'm guided to, whether it's reversed or upright, so that I can understand the underlying energies better for you guys. We're going to take 3 more cards, is what I'm feeling. So we have this in reverse. We have animal in reverse. Reverse. Love is in reverse. This is actually a good card to get in reverse. And we have the maiden in reverse as well. Okay. Bottom of the deck, I see the ocean yet in reverse, and crowning is the tear. Okay, very interesting. I feel like the blocked off energies that I pick up currently. Should we take? These are a lot of cards. Bardo, Father, Healer, and Sustainer. The Vision. I'm gonna take the Vision over here. I am seeing the Healer, so let's begin off with the Maiden in reverse. It's almost like losing a sense of self, losing your own internal ability to derive source from within, right? And with the Peacock-Ore, I feel like this is a lot about the difficulties that you've been through. And something that I feel like is being guided from within is to let you know that the purpose of these readings is not to sort of give you external validation. You shouldn't require that. Pile number 2, you shouldn't require a sort of tarot reader on the YouTube that you've never met to give you validation as to who you are internally, right? You should be able to validate yourself that you are, the king or queen in your life. You're the main character. So I feel like even though you need to hear this, that you are the main character in your life, you just need to show up a little bit more like that, right? Because the moment that you start thinking about more about what your parents want, or what your siblings want, or what your friends would like to see you as, you're giving away your main character energy, right? So whatever I say should facilitate you, but should not construct your mental, your mindset in a way, right? So I feel like with the Lovers in reverse, it's almost like about choosing yourself. That's why I said this is a good card to get in reverse, because the more that you choose yourself, the more that you call in true love, right? Because that person is ultimately going to choose you. I feel like there's this energy of you as a human, to lower your self-worth or your standards just to have anything around. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you do that. You settle for certain things out of your fear of abandonment. And this is not to make a psychological analysis about how you live your life, but it's a lot about the way that this wound of rejection has been operating in many areas of your life, which really comes down to the fact of you solving yourself with the wailing tree. Why do I keep saying wallowing? It's almost like, I saw the card of the ocean, and where did it go? I saw the card of the ocean and the tear together, right? So the ocean was in reverse. It's a lot about pausing. And this point, it's required for you to release these heavy emotions so that you can actually, let down this guard that you have against being yourself. And the ultimate thing that I'm just trying to deliver to you is that you hold yourself back. I think sometimes you think that your parents are holding you back, your lovers are holding you back, the suitors that you've kept around, but who's actually holding you back is you. We have number 35 over here, which reduces to 8. With 34, it's a progression. So I feel like there's nothing to sort of panic or worry about that you're not doing enough. I really want to make you comfortable with the fact that this is not at all to disregard the effort that you've been putting in yourself. It's just to remind you or give you a little bit of like a navigation right back to your path, right? Because with the shadow in reverse, I feel like this is indicative of the fact that you are doing the work, but it's also like what work do you need to do moving forward, right? It's a lot about integrating this lighter aspect within you and not criticizing or ostracizing yourself for not doing enough, because I think sometimes you go into an overdrive, and this comes from a place of lack, where you feel like if I reach quickly to my higher potential, I will be able to attain the love that I deserve. But this is not about quick movement. This is about being patient with yourself. This is about letting yourself understand yourself. It's almost like being patient with yourself and letting your soul guide you each and every day, so that you can just easily transition into this, because I think that you need to know that doing shadow work every day is not good for you. It can take you into a really serious phase of unhappiness, because you're always just looking at what's wrong with you, right? You're pushing away self-love in the future. So as much as it's important for you to know to just make tiny steps to showing up the way you feel like you want to show up inside is more than enough. You will face small fears every day. You don't have to do heaps of confrontational work with yourself, right? So don't do that, and don't take away that from this reading. Coming back to what I see your purpose right now, almost, or in this lifetime, is also healing this energy of the animal in reverse. Is sort of like outbursts, like you maybe have a difficulty with emotional regulation, because when certain things don't work the way you sort of thought they should, it's almost like it makes you really paranoid. And something about this reading is making my nose really itchy. So I feel like this is a lot about with the itchy nose, I feel like sneezing, and when you sneeze, you're sort of letting out a lot of bacteria and shit, like. So I feel like this is a lot about the emotional outbursts that you have with the Eight of Wands. This can definitely indicate with the Devil and the Hanged Man, like it's almost like you don't know how to regulate negative emotions and you burst out. So one of the things that currently you need to work through is this anger or just emotional upheaval that you face, that you're not able to contain within yourself, and you just burst out, is what I'm really feeling over here. So I think pile number 2, what this really brings me to, because we're about to conclude your reading with the river, you can see how there's a reflection of the horse, and the horse is giving me a lot about reliability, strength, and how we say horsepower, it's internal strength. So I feel like with the Eight of Wands, at this point you're just not realizing how much you're holding yourself back, and this can feel a little bit more tedious when somebody's constantly just telling you that you're holding yourself back. But it's almost in a way for you to realize that the tears and the purging that you're going through slowly by slowly need to also have a balance. Okay. Spirit just stopped me, and Spirit wants to let you know about certain things that you can do to take care of yourself. Something about grooming is what I picked up, which was prevalent in pile number 1. So you might want to watch pile number 1 as well a little bit. I'm getting from 15:26. So 15 minutes 26 seconds, you might have a message there if you feel called to. Yeah, I think that we're coming to the end of this reading now. So we're going to take a few advice cards for you. Win-win outcome is forecast. I'm taking this in reverse. Upright, adjustments are required. Reverse, expect powerful change. I need one card in blues. Time to breathe out. Bottom of the deck. Step out of your comfort zone, and a time to give rather than take, Virgo. I feel like this is really contradictory to what I've explained, because this for me is almost speaking about give it to yourself, like give that love to yourself. Um, because you deserve it more than anyone else that you give into this world. You might be a tarot reader yourself, you might be somebody who likes to indulge in divination tools, you like to take help, you're very fascinated by the work of tarot and how cards work and mediumship yourself, because you have that ability within yourself. So if somebody over here has been contemplating if they should make a YouTube channel, or if they should have their own successes in life, you should definitely go for it. Spirit really wants you to work through these fears that you feel like you won't be good enough, because you will be. Somebody over here also, something about you just being on YouTube and showcasting this talent or skill that you have, whether it's makeup, whether it's musical instrument, whether it's about vehicles, mechanics, anything that you can think for or about, gender non-specific, works over here. But I see that with the take time to breathe out and expect a powerful change in reverse, with all the cards in reverse and adjustments are required. It's almost like you are putting in the work, but you need to remind yourself how to make it efficient for you, because I think that your mind goes in ways where it's not really completely working out for you. I think that the amount of energy, it's almost like, how they say work smart, not hard. That's what I've been trying to explain. Like, you're putting in the work, but it's not going in the right place. I think your focus is too much maybe on your love life, and I think that maybe what you need to do, it's your energy is somewhere else, pile number two. And what spirit is really trying to just explain you is bring it back to yourself. And one of the most healing things is going to be start shedding these layers of um, an unauthentic version of yourself, which is sort of like dress up this way. There's something about the physical appearance a lot over here which you want to change, or you've been thinking about, which makes you fearful that people are just gonna think like, whoa, what happened to you, like there are certain things. If you want to color your hair, if you want to go extreme, you want to get some piercings, you want to get some tattoos on your body, you want to get inked, anything that you can think of, you want to get some eyelash extensions. I'm specifically picking on a lot of sort of makeover for women over here. Even if you're a man, if you want to go work out, if you want to start doing something different for yourself. I'm sorry I'm not getting many examples for the men over here, but whatever it is, like whatever you feel like, because that is going to empower you within yourself, and for you to understand what you really want to go like or just experience um is something that will work out for you. You will feel like you're empowered within. You have to explore these things, even if it's an impulsive decision. Spirit's almost like go do it. Even if you won't like it, you at least might learn from that regret, right? So don't be so scared to sort of exercise your liberty of freedom and changing avatars. Something about physical appearance, changing that up, switching that up will really really empower you. It will bring you to a different version of yourself, because I think that you have looked a certain way for a very long time. With all the pinks and purples that I see over here, it's a lot about self-love and the crown chakra. It's almost like your soul is trying to show you how it wanna look, how it's trying to look, and this will really bring you more sense of, I would say, love and self-acceptance. So I think pile number two, I was about to say one, so you might definitely have a message over there from 15 minutes to 17 minutes or something I'm hearing. But this brings us to the end of your reading. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye. Hello, pile number three. Last but not the least, if you chose this moss agate, this is going to be your reading. So I am looking at the picture in the thumbnail, and I see that this is all about a girl working with the animal spirits, working with wolves. Personally, wolf is one of my spirit animals, so if that's yours, high five. I also personally work a lot with the owl spirit. I'm getting tiger spirit as well, and the dragonfly. above all, this is giving me a lot of like metamorphosis. And whenever I talk I have about metamorphosis, I have this sort of banter with spirit, which calls of spirit morphosis, right? Because of the various transformations that we go through throughout our life, the spiritual awakenings. I feel like this really talks about how your spirit has been evolving. So one of the things that I really pick up as a soul purpose for you is honestly just evolving. That's literally what I get. And like I've mentioned in the previous piles, I want to let you know that this is not a reading which is a lot about how you're going on a global level, which does come through, because I feel like for pile number 3, I pick up a sort of designation in society that you're going to be doing, and you have a lot of leadership skills, because I see that this girl, through her intuitive psychic abilities, with the same sort of, I would say, gaze in her eyes as the wolf, she sort of feels like psychically connected with these wolves, and she's sort of leading the pack, and wolves, the alpha male, always leads the pack. So something about this girl being in the woman's body and still leading a pack is phenomenal, right? I love this image. And I feel like with her clothes being a little torn underneath, it almost gives me like rising above a poverty consciousness. And again, what I really wanted to deliver was at the back of my mind is that this reading is a lot about what's your soul purpose, what you're doing behind closed doors, almost what's between you and the divine, right? What's just for you, pile number 3. You could belong to any profession, but I feel like for pile number 3, you are a vagabond, you are a sort of a nomad. I give a lot of, I get a lot of Egyptian vibes, ancient Egyptian vibes. You might really work with goddess Isis or Horus. I feel like there's something about, you just being very fascinated by the Egyptian Mesopotamian area. You might really like to watch those movies as well. You're very fascinated by the ancient existence of human mankind. And I feel like something about you is very different, diverse, and it really sort of sets you apart from the crowd, is what I feel. Because of the energies that I pick up over here. I'm honestly very excited to do your reading. Because something about this really talks to me about soul navigation, and it's almost like you are a lone wolf, but in the most optimistic manner. Because in pile number 1, I picked up on a heart wound which was burning isolation, but for you it's almost like you thrive in solitude, and you're not actually alone because you're always surrounded by your animal spirits or your guides. So something about you is heavily working with the natural forces, and just really, I get a very free flowing energy. It's almost like you are already on a soulful level a sort of ascended master. Like you're somebody who has already achieved quite a lot, is what I'm trying to deliver. And this energy sort of gives me like your if you hear any sort of like background noises, that's my dog. And he's just here for pile number 3. So it's very interesting because the wolves are also from the dog family, right? So something about being loyal to yourself and just being very a sort of damp with animals and just the overall existence of nature, right? And I feel like something about spirit is telling me that the dogs or the spirits that you have had have also been sort of like soulmates. So your first dog, if you still have him or her, or your first pet, or the spirits in these animals are also serving a huge purpose because they are there for your healing journey as well. It's almost like how we speak about therapy dogs or therapy pet animals, right? It's almost like spirit makes sure that you have some sort of emotional support, which is almost like it's just kindred. They can't really speak much, but you can feel them. So I think that your gifts are very heightened, pile number 3. And something about this life is also about exercising them and just enjoying them, pile number 3. So I feel like your reading is just going to be a nice sail through, get comfortable with me, and let's see what do we really have for you, because I'm kind of really intrigued and curious as to what spirit wants to deliver to you. Because again, it just brings me back to this analogy of you sort of being like a vagabond. You're just doing your own thing, and I don't mean that in a way where you won't have a family or something, but there's a lot about you just figuring out yourself and almost like floating through life, because you're honestly so gifted. And if you haven't understood your gifts yet, this is what spirit wants to let you know, is the purpose is to understand your power, because spirit senses is sort of tranquility and harmony within you, which is almost like, even if you look a little scary, looks can deceive, but spirit knows your soul inside. You know, the divine power knows your soul inside, and they still want to give you these gifts because they know that you will use it to help other people. There's some sort of leadership role that I pick up for you that is sort of going to emerge within its own due time. So let's flip out a few cards for you. So I did take out the tarot cards from the previous reading so I don't have overlapping, but I am feeling like I should bind them all. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna do a lazy spread today. We're gonna take this in reverse. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse. We're gonna take this upright. We have the Page of Cups. We're gonna take this in reverse. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Upright. We have the Temperance in upright. And lastly, I was deciding on taking 5. Okay, so we're gonna take the bottom of the deck energy, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse. All right. I see the Chariot, and we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. For the shuffled cards, we have the Balanced Life. We have Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. We have Skywriting, the Fates. And we have Gathering Around. So the archetypes, I'm going to take them out right now. We're going to take this in upright. Siren. I saw this. Upright, reverse. Upright. We have the Flame. Reverse. The Box. Reverse. We have the Crone. Upright. We have the Seed. We're going to take one more. We're going to take Kairos. Alright, there's quite a lot. I'm just going to take a minute to rearrange because there's something that feels unsettled to me over here. All right. So, let's begin off with the flame energy. I really pick up a twin flame energy over here. There's somebody who's very like you, and it doesn't have to always be a romantic partner. Our twin flame, in a sense, I don't mean it in a very cliche sense that this is just somebody you're meant to be with, but somebody who's sort of shown you your own shadow attribute, and sort of, I feel like there's an energy of suppressed wounds that is coming through, that this person has helped you release. There's definitely a divine counterpart, at least I would say, for you, who's there to sort of help you heal through these feelings of unworthiness, is what I pick up over here. And I feel like with the sky writing and the crone in reverse, sky writing says fates, which is number 49, which reduces to 13 to 4, the Emperor card. 4 is the Emperor, and we have gathering around the power of community. I'm going to read about this. There's a lot of, I would say, distractions for your reading, because I'm not able to focus upon it as well as I was able to in pile number 1 and 2. Being safe and secure, allowing help. So I feel like this is something about just being able to, honestly, with the Nine of Cups and reverse, the gathering around in the box, um unleashing yourself. You're somebody who's meant to show the world how to actually lead life in a better way. And you're sort of like somebody I did pick up in the beginning, right, as a poverty consciousness, with the tone sort of clothing that she was wearing at the bottom. And that could just be the design, but what I pick up is that it was tone for me. Okay, it's a lot of struggle that I see that you've been through in life, and you've not always been the most privileged, but something about this energy is like impatience within you, pile number 3. I feel like there's yet a lot that you have to discover with the crone and fall in alignment deeper with the divine, and that's not to discredit the work that you've already done, but it's a lot about the universe wanting to let you know there's a lot more for you, my child. I'm hearing from your guys that they're saying there's a lot more for you to yet to accomplish, and just in a sense to understand the full altitude of your gifts. Like, you are a very multi-dimensional, multifaceted human being, right? And with the Ace of Cups in beginning, it's almost like you still have no clue about it. You might be thinking that I have so many psychic gifts, you have so much to still give to the world, and yet you're like, there's still more. Your guys are like, yeah, there's heck a lot of more for you to achieve in your life. I'm getting $1 million business, so something about you is meant to be in the limelight. Something about you is meant to guide other people. Just be an example. I'm hearing started from the bottom, now we're here. It's almost like an energy of that you and this specific person, this divine counterpart, whether you've met this person right now or not, and it's something that spirit is saying that you might not expect. So something about this is yet to be revealed to you, which is within its due time. I'm hearing 2-3 years, so something about it is very concealed to the both of us over here, pile number 3. Spirit doesn't want to lead on with too much information about your love life, but on a cellular level, it's almost giving like, with the Siren card and the Kairos, I almost feel like I want to read about the Siren's darker attribute, because something about is holding you back, is what I feel. You have the Siren at 97. So Siren is dark, wicked, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, insatiability. I feel like this is a lot about the fact that you sometimes feel really bored of situations very quick, and nothing satisfies you that easily, because you are somebody that has a lot to do. You want to discover this, that, this. You have so many interests, and something about is imbalanced within you, because you're sort of like trying to explore yourself, but it's an excuse for not being able to find contentment within yourself. Okay, and take it with a grain of salt, because I feel like you're very advanced and I don't need to explain too much to you. Pile number 3 is what I feel. So I almost feel like I'm looking at your spirit guides just sitting and chilling, having a mimosa or something, because they're like, pile number three can handle everything. So I think something about you is already quite established within yourself. You've progressed quite a lot. And I see over here that there's sort of these gems over here. With the seed, we have a pearl, and then the box has this sort of beaming light. We have diamonds in the kairos as well. With the crown, we have a sort of medal, and with the flame, there's a burning, flame. I feel like this is a lot about the bling in life. Like, what your spirit guides want to let you know through this is that one of your purpose is to live a luxurious life for yourself. It's almost like to live a life which is not or one of any more struggle, almost what I'd say. With the Princess of Cups, if you can look at, there's a crown over here with the swan. Yeah, that's a swan. It's almost like giving me an energy that you are meant to live a life that is easy, because you are somebody who will reach a level of enlightenment with the Sagittarius energy that I pick up over here. And there's a lot of cups. So we definitely do have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm also hearing that this could be you or your person that you would encounter. This person would be very emotionally available and stable by the time you also complete and reach a milestone in your life. With the sky writing the fates, it's almost like it's very destined to be, is what I'm hearing. With the Temperance, the Sagittarius energy, with the eagle that we have and the lion, this eagle looks so sophisticated and domesticated to me. With the lion also, it looks really tamed but very vigilant. So I feel like this is an energy of you just really dealing with I would say, these skeletons in your closet that have been holding you back for a really long time, is what I'm feeling. And by the time you reach, I'm hearing your if somebody over here would reach their midlife, like I'm getting 30 to 60 years of span, you will be well established. So what spirit wants to let you know is that the worry that you have, that you're not making good enough, how will I achieve, those sort of I'm hearing sports cars or like that sort of fancy lifestyle, you will do that by finding yourself and becoming content within yourself. It's almost like a monk life. Like, you will understand what it really means to be content within, so that the universe doesn't feel a need of neediness from you, which sort of portrays a lack mentality, right? When we're content within ourselves, we almost feel like we don't really need much, right? So I feel like this is what's going to happen with you. This is going to put you in a place of ease, and I feel like the itches that you're having right now in your life are building character, so that it's almost like, when you're going to reach a really great level in your life, you're going to have everything, is what I feel. And I feel like I'm repeating these messages again and again, pile number three. So I think that with the box, it's almost like what you have understood for yourself right now is going to be revealed to you as being very minute of what you've understood as your power, because you are somebody who can manifest a lot for yourself. With the flame and with the pyramid, I see the hierarchy of maturity, spiritual maturity taking place. And with the mushrooms, I almost get this sort of trance state, how we see sort of like psychedelic mushrooms, is what I'm feeling. So this is, I feel really deep within my bones that this is just the beginning of your prosperity in your life journey, pile number three. Honestly, no matter what is your age, there's a lot you have to be unfolding in front of your eyes, and there's a lot that shows me a path. You're still walking a path of spiritual ascension, and it's ongoing process. So I feel like you, out of all three piles, are honestly one of the most hungry for enlightenment. It's almost like you have this in your soul that you want to reach a level of high vibration, where it's like you just got to have it. You have this ambition within you, and sometimes I feel like you go in overdrive because of the sort of, I would say, um, excitement that you have within yourself. Like, you overdrive yourself into insanity, is what I'm hearing. So you, as much as advanced as you are, a part of your mental instability that comes in is not being able to go with the pace of your soul, right? So I feel like as much as you have connectivity with the nature and, different insights into the spiritual world, sometimes the human mind can't actually adhere to the speed that your soul wants to go, because your soul has a plan, and you always get into this place of impatience as to figuring out things. And you, with the five of swords, I feel like you just don't want to stop in your life. You have this sort of, wheels under your foot, like you just want to keep going, you want to keep going. And this is an energy of self-love, and I really respect that, because you're not somebody who's leaning upon other people, places and things to give you what you want in life, because you have that sort of understanding of detachment. Even now and then, I think that you are still healing from the wounds that you sort of what that festered in your childhood. You're still doing a lot of inner child healing, but sometimes this brings you to a place of, I would say, unhappiness with the ace of cups in reverse, because you just sort of go in an overdrive. So one of the things that spirit wants you to be cautious about is that they want you to understand that a balanced life is, like it says, love seeks your well-being. It's almost like they're saying that, things will come to you when it's time for them, right? You don't have to rush anything, and don't get impatient with your own journey, because I think sometimes you think that, you're not getting what you want, or you're not getting where you want to be, but there's a plan for you in motion which will give you everything that you want. Pile number 3, the way that your brain works and why you have so much ignition inside you is because of the fact that you're being empowered from, the flame within. Your soul recognition, your soul is amping you up to move forward, but sometimes your body and your mind get a little ahead of yourself. So correct me if I'm wrong on it, okay? This says, when your mind has clarity, it can guide you. You will be able to expand your memory and improve your vision. It will help you achieve practical goals. So I think that what happens is sometimes you just go too much out of it, right? And this is their interpretation for the card Balanced Life from the Sufi wisdom. And this has a sort of quotes for every card by Rumi. So this says, today, like many other days, we wake up empty and startled, like the beauty we love be what we do. So it's almost like still loving the art of existence, art of living, right? Just being in a place of attraction, right? You're not requiring too much. Again, with the Balanced Life, I see this monk like imitation. With the Temperance, I also see this monk like imitation. And I feel like this is a lot about just understanding that what you have in the moment is enough. With the Siren, I picked up on the shadow attribute, right? Getting ahead of yourself and not being able to satiate where you are in life is because sometimes you just go out of I just don't want to criticize you. I want to make you feel comfortable with the reading, but I keep on getting this message that sometimes when you think too much about why you're not where you're at, it's coming from a childhood wound where you're still craving validation and acceptance from the society. Even though you are somebody who's meant to be an example, it's almost like this shadow attribute takes over and you want to keep achieving and achieving so that you can feel content. But real wisdom will come from a place where you don't have to achieve anything. You're completely worthy of love and priceless, even in the moment right now when you haven't achieved half of the things that you're meant to do in the course of your fuller lifetime, right? So I see this being pretty much it. Pile number 3, something about this Nine of Cups is almost like the deeper that you keep understanding and shedding layers and give yourself the time. I feel like you might have a message in pile number 2 from 24 minutes, so you might want to watch that. But I feel like with the Nine of Cups in reverse and gathering around, too much of isolation might make you feel a little bit clogged, like clogged up inside, is what I'm trying to say. Like you need to have moments of social interaction so that you're not always fixated upon your goals. It's almost like, I'm not saying that you don't have fun, but a way to get your mind off these goals would be to relax yourself a little bit, and almost like maybe have a mimosa or two yourself, right? So I feel like the message that's coming around is honestly that you're just gonna float through life, pile number three. There's not much that you have to do moving forward. You just have to keep going with the flow of whatever you feel guided to do, because I feel like there's comparatively really lesser resistance in your energy, and it's just a sort of confirmation or a reminder that you are on the right path, and just keep listening to your inner voice. Okay, don't get too ahead of yourself, right? You're just going to put yourself in a place of unhappiness, as you're going to see what you've not achieved, and you're going to forget what everything you've achieved. So we have you and your loved ones are safe, you are good enough, and we're going to take this in reverse: balance, spirituality, and practicality. We have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn, and we have meditate and contemplate, Pisces twice. So I feel like with the Pisces being here twice, it's almost like you go in and out of your divine nature. And I don't mean to say that you're not embodying your divine potential, I just mean like this impatience keeps coming up, because it's coming from a place of childhood wound, which makes you feel like I haven't achieved enough, or people are going to respect me more when I've accomplished this and that. I feel like with the you and your loved ones are safe, it's talking about your inner child sometimes, when it feels like it's not getting the love and attention it wants from other people, because you're not finding it in the right place. It's almost like you want people to praise you, but the amount of safety and love that you're going to feel, the validation is going to be around your loved ones, not by unknown people praising you. Does that make sense? So what you're craving is camaraderie in your life, rather than being more of a leader for other people, even though that doesn't take away from the fact that you are somebody who's meant to be a leader. But you require more happy moments in your life, because of the way that you've dealt with life. You've not had the luckiest cards. That doesn't mean you don't know how to place and play with the cards, right? You definitely do have a sixth sense that serves you really well, pile number three. All right, so I feel like what we're going to conclude it at is just take more time to peace out and just chill in life, is almost what I'm going to say. Okay, so I'm hearing from spirit that sometimes when you're not happy with yourself, you talk really bad about yourself. So something that you might want to think about as well, because you start self-depreciating. You don't think that you've done enough, even though I keep hearing that you've done a lot, pile number three. You've done a lot, and it's really good for your capabilities, and you're almost like going just according to your soul's plan. All right, so pile number three, I'm gonna leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye.